Shalom, all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone and rule well. Shalom to all the brothers doing the work of certain truth. Um, yeah, wanted to just touch on a few scriptures and go into how, in this present time, Jake is kind of, essentially trying to, escape from behavior there's no affliction by and large. Anyway, by and large, the majority of Jake, the 2/3, they're out here trying to engage with Esau's kingdom, like they're not carrying any baggage going into it, like they didn't, go into captivity, like they're not being judged, like the laws are not holding them to account, for their actions, and that's really what why Jacob bugged, man. They don't know what who they are. Don't know why they're in the situation they're in. So, it's a mess. Read this. Sirach 11, 21. Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord and abide in thy labor. For it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord on the sudden to make a poor man rich. And yeah. So, marvel not at the works of sinners. Now, Jake, that's one of the main thing they're doing. They're marveling at Esau, the so-called white man who's in the power seat presently. He's his society, the way he's able to live, everyone's following after and what's the word, coveting that lifestyle, man. Whether you go to, different parts of the world, you go to the Western world, wherever you are, man, in the hood, in Manhattan, in Ghana, in Accra, in Hong Kong, in Beijing, everyone's basically covering that lifestyle that Esau's pushed and promoted. Utilizing that system, the whore and the beast, man. But what it's basically the way Esau's ruling is through wickedness, through madness. It's not going to prosper in the long run, man. Job 20, I believe it is. So it says, the blessing of the Lord is in reward of the godly, and suddenly he maketh his blessing flourish. Say not, what profit is there of my service, and what good things shall I have hereafter? But you go to the black church, it's all that prosperity doctrine. They're all that's the the beginning, middle, and end. All they're trying to do, they're trying to just look, bless me with that range, man. Man's looking to get blessed up with the range. But that's it's that's just not the time. And this place has been on the fritz for the longest. Man just pumped another 1.9 trillion into the economy in the States, which is all like it's like if someone's having, someone's heart giving out and they just jam them full of adrenaline, to just give them more time to try and revive them. That's essentially it, man. It's a cash injection for a temporary high, but then what? It's in the long run, the system still don't work. This shit's not built to last. It's made to be destroyed. So, it says, again, say not I have enough and possess many things. And what evil shall I have hereafter? Yeah, that's the guys that they'll get a certain level of, success, fame, money, and then they'll just be thinking they're essentially thinking they're blessed. They think the Lord's down with everything they're doing, but it's just like, okay, well, there's an opportunity that could have been given to you as a as a weakness to overcome. Don't just mean just because, okay, now the Lord set you in a certain estate you're good, man. The Lord's good with whatever you do. You can go out, commit some adultery the following night or some shit. In the day, this is the point anyway that I wanted to get. In the day of prosperity, there is forgetfulness of affliction, and the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity. Yeah, so in the day of prosperity, so it's for example, when when the kingdom gets out, when we get raised up, when we get them new bodies, we get to drink that new that wine with Yahushua in the kingdom. We ain't gonna be thinking about this place. Ain't gonna be thinking about Babylon. Ain't gonna be thinking about the state we're in. All these things. All that's gonna be forgotten. But then there's a flip side as well. It's like now we're in the hell we're in. We ain't think we're not meditating on how it was back in ancient Israel, back when we had the rule during the Dark Ages or other periods of time. Those things aren't at the forefront of your mind, man. Them things get forgotten. So that's why it's like even let me read on. So it says, "For it is an easy thing unto the Lord in the day of death to reward a man according to his ways. The affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure, and in the end his deeds shall be discovered." Yeah. So the affliction of an hour makes you forget pleasure, and that's the thing. We're essentially in that time of trouble, man. Jacob's trouble, because you got that max getting pushed, and the mark's not far off. The mark's not far off at all. There's all the crypto one, crypto ruble, crypto dollar is getting looked into. And from other angles as well, the Internet of Things, the 5G, all these things are being pushed out, which are kind of all gonna be built on by the mark. So this is what in the day of affliction there's no remembrance of prosperity. So even the guys that are so-called enjoying, they've the guys that have got their consolation, when that time of trouble comes, it's their accounting amongst his poor, rich or poor, free and bond. So all them guys that are integrated in the society, they're gonna be treated on the same level as the average Negro, the average so-called Negro, man. So all that you labored in ain't all that worldly BS you invested in. It's not even gonna be remembered, man. Because an hour that hell, and it's all gonna be forgotten, man. Isaiah 1:3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. Yeah. The ox knoweth his owner, ass his master's crib, but Israel don't know. Israel don't know their owner. That's what out here in in the enemy's system, integrating, trying to embed themselves, man. It's that same relationship, especially with, these black women. They're getting the utmost support. What was I thinking? The yeah. So it's what, even the serpent, man. That same relationship, that match made in hell. You've had this whole fuss over here in the UK about the royal family and Harry and what's his name? This fucking American bird, Meghan Markle. You've had that thing blowing up. You've had that big fuss being made. Cause why? Cause a lot of it is these black women being like, no, it's unacceptable. We should be accepted. They just wanna integrate into the system. They want to be accepted by this system, by these Edomites. they desire to participate and revel in all the folly that Babylon has to offer, which is why, and a lot of the men are the same thing. But it's what they don't know who or where um they're meant to be, man. They're out here completely confused. Hosea 4:1. Hear the word of Yahweh, ye children of Israel, for Yahweh hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, no mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land. Yeah, that's by and large. To be fair, the truth's gone out there. The brothers have been pushing the truth out. But the flip side of that is you've had a lot of it just guys have who's had their ears shut, man. It's full of deaf ears. Their ears have been shut, their eyes have been blinded, so they can't be converted and be healed. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out on blood touch of blood. All these things are occurring now. Therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish. With the beasts of the field and with the fowls of the heaven, yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. Yet let no man strive nor reprove another, for thy people are as they that strive with the priest. Therefore shalt thou fall in the day, and the prophet also shall fall with thee in the night, and I will destroy thy mother. Yeah. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. Yeah, so there comes the root of it. Jake's destroyed for lack of knowledge. They've got the knowledge of wickedness, man. The knowledge of the world, which is no knowledge. All these things Jake knows all about. If you ask, in over here in the UK, these Jake be hell into football. Back when you could go out to games, you catch Arsenal fan TV. Anytime there was an Arsenal match, you have hundreds upon thousands of Jakes out there, completely emotionally invested in the results of a 22 grown men kicking a ball around. So this, these are the this is the things that Jake has knowledge of. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. Yeah, so that's how it's been flipped. It's flipped on Jake, because they've got no understanding, no clue, no bearing of why they're in their state, and really what state they're meant to be in. Because there's no wisdom, man. These guys, as far as they know, blacks were in slavery, and before that, they were swinging off trees in Africa. They don't realize, they're from royal lineage, and king. They've been called to be kings and priests. Let me read this. Lamentations 4:1. How has the gold become dim? How has the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out on the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potters? Yeah. The precious sons that were once on the level of fine gold. And that's basically there was no comparison to be made between Israel and the heathen. The Israel's more excellent than their neighbor, and that's the role Israel's meant to be. The laws are basically kind of the bedrock of us being separated, of us being made holy. So when you're disconnected from knowledge of who you are, from your customs, the laws, the how you meant to carry yourself, then what you wander out of the way of understanding you're in the congregation of the dead. So you're just a walking corpse, and that's what you got. in Babylon. A lot of walking corpses, man. And that's why it's like they need to taste a second death, because like all Israel is gonna be saved, but what 2/3 are basically gonna have to come back, through the elect. Because why they're gonna have to be, they ain't gonna make it, man. They don't have the capacity to, come round to the truth. Um. Uh. uh or Revelation 3:19. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous, therefore, and repent. Yeah. So, the correction that we receive, what from your conduct when you're off in the world and you're just doing all kinds of madness or whatever, and then you hear the word and it resonates with you, then it's what that and you heed it, and then you basically turn to the righteous path. That's what that's basically love. That rebuke, that basically turns you to that righteous path. It was love. And that's something as well that in the beast system in Esau's kingdom is what's the word? Not even criminalized. Like it's not esteemed. It's like honor's not esteemed. Having integrity isn't esteemed. Rebuking someone to better them isn't esteemed, man. It's basically like, oh, if you're trying to say like, hey, look, what you're doing is wrong. You should correct it, straighten your ways. Then it's like you're bullying someone. It's like you're causing harm. But what that's love, man. Because if your brother's going off and you turn it back to the correct path, then what? It's an act of love. You're stopping him from destroying himself. But this is what but with this society, this is based around distraction. It's based around people basically steering themselves into annihilation, man. That's what these elites are doing. These elites are steering people into annihilation. Read this Deuteronomy 28:1. And it says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all these commandments which I command thee this day, that Yahweh thy power will set thee on high high above all nations on earth, and all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, and it shall hearken unto the voice. If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power. So yeah. This, Deuteronomy 28, we get both sides of the deal, basically, of the covenant. Because it's like, hey, look, you follow, you move correct. These are the rewards. You move incorrect. This is the destruction that's going to be visited on you. And I'll get that, because the blessings, you can go through the blessings, but it's that's more for what's gonna be played out in the kingdom. And but it's the curses are that's why the curses are the meat of the chapter, because why they're the most relevant part to what we're going through, what we're experiencing now. And it's well, okay, I'll read this. Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Yeah, so if you don't follow, the curses overtake, because they'll fall upon you, which it's the deal that was made. And we're gonna have that new covenant where the laws are put on our inward parts. But what that comes at the end of a path, man. You got to endure to the end for that reward. And this is, what Jake don't desire, what they don't like. Having to endure, having to work, having to have integrity, having to basically sacrifice for this truth, for this word, for Yahweh Shai. These things, 2/3 of Jake, they're not built to do. Uh, what was it? Mm, Okay, yeah, verse 46. It says, "And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever." Yeah, so the curses are what part of that sign, part of that wonder, which is why it's you trying to escape from that. You trying to just be like, okay, and that prosperity forever, even though you're in hell. You got to America by going in cargo slave ships, and you people got destroyed for hundreds of years. But now, just because you can get some white pussy, it's meant to all be mended. This is you're missing something key, because it's what all that hell is a sign of a way to recognize, okay, who's chosen. Because this chapter eviscerates the doctrine, well, whatever those guys in the 48 state are trying to push, as far as to them fulfilling prophecy. That doesn't occur. It's a huge blow. When were they taken into Egypt, into bondage in cargo slave ships? It didn't occur. Okay. What was that last one? Believe so. Let me close on this then. Revelation 2:25. "But that which ye have already hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I have received of my Father." Yeah, so it says what? That you should have already hold fast, this word, this truth. And it's what? He that overcometh and keepeth my work to the end. So yeah, overcoming. Because that time of tribulation, it's gonna get sticky. It's the heat is only gonna intensify. So these are the things. It's like the first scripture I read as well. In the time of tribulation, prosperity is forgotten. And the flip side as well, when in the time of prosperity, you forget the hell. So now it's why what are we working for? What we striving for? What we basically building that kingdom of heaven, man. Us basically being in that state where we're no longer having to we're basically going to be in power, and the nations are going to be subjects. We're gonna Everything's going to be set in order. So we're going to be at rest. But then what now is the lead up to that. Now is basically the hell to be endured to receive that reward. So you should expect the affliction, expect the harshness, and take it cheerfully. For that crown. But I'll leave it there. Shalom. Yabashir Shai Bashir Makakadash Bakatan. Shalom.